welcome you once again to Going Blue Otaku. I am one of your hosts, Don Manta Ray. With me as always is EgoBoost.
What's up?
Also the child of the bunch, Wabi-kun.
I thought he was the child.
No, you're the child.
No, he should be the child.
He's the dwarf.
No.
He's the dwarf.
Gabe's the child.
He ripped the stuff out of the ground. He's a fucking dwarf.
The child that no one wants.
Sitting to my right is Master Chef.
Cooking.
And of course, joining us tonight is a special guest, Josh the dwarf.
Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Alrighty. And ladies and gentlemen, today we'd like to begin our topics. We're going to start off once more again with DashCon. And as you all probably know, DashCon turned out to be one of the biggest convention disappointments of all time. It crashed, it burned. But apparently it's back.
Josh, do you know what happened at DashCon?
No.
Okay,
We got a ball pit and a bounce house.
And for the 4 people who are just tuning in, if you missed the last episode, DashCon was started by a bunch of Tumblr people who decided they want to make their own convention based on like VidCon and stuff like that.
Was it shitty?
God.
It was extreme. You were there when we did this, and it was it was
Yeah, that's what
extremely.
you say. We already talked about this.
Yeah, it was extremely
We said we're
shitty.
revisiting the subject.
Oh, okay.
We're
yeah.
revisiting because the people behind the convention have come out of the shadows and they have said their piece, which I'm going to tell all you guys. But for Josh here, this is what happened. The day, I think it was either the weekend of the convention or a week before the convention, the con staffers were told by the hotel that they already had a contract with that they still owed an extra $17,000 to the hotel for the hotel to be able to put up with all this.
Yeah.
Now, DashCon employees went on to Tumblr and Twitter and all that and said, hey, we need the extra money. Can you all help us out? And they went around, picking up charities from inside the con and people donated through PayPal. And it turned out that
It was
most
bad.
people, it turns out that most people seem to think that it was a giant scam just to get money.
Yeah.
Because they had guests dropping out because the guests found out that they would have to pitch in for their own rooms. And another group of guests had canceled the show, and the only reimbursement that the staff could give them, anybody who showed up during that, was an extra hour in the ball pit.
Jeez.
Yes, they had a ball pit. You can look up the pictures right now. I'm sure EgoBoost can look it up for you right now. It's a little kiddie pool.
Really?
A little
A
kiddie
kiddie
pool.
pool.
It's a kiddie pool, like for toddlers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You pump it up with air, and they splash in it, just filled with balls. And like in the distance, you can see a bounce house with it. But it just
that's real
turned
professional.
it just turned into a very bad weekend for everybody. And now the people behind it have come out to explain what all the problems were.
Pretty sure everyone was on Molly, and they thought, ball pit, bounce house, time of their life.
We got this.
Yeah.
They needed more drugs. That was the only problem with the situation.
They needed more trouble.
Yeah, Tumblr should have supplied more drugs.
Okay.
And ERJ Productions does not support the selling of drugs at conventions. Yet.
We don't care that you do them, just don't tell anybody.
I was gonna say that.
Or, kick up.
Don't get caught.
Alright, now, the people behind DashCon came out explaining the $17,000. They said supposedly the hotel had been paid $21,000 beforehand, leaving $7,000 to be paid using money earned during the convention. Understandable, that's how most cons and hotels make their money, from people, ordering room service or, dealer room and stuff like that. And then press release states that on the day before the convention began, the hotel asked for more than $10,000 for event services, including electricity, which had previously not been mentioned to the organizers. The post includes a table of payments relating to the $17,000 fundraiser, saying that around $11,779.86 was paid to the hotel in cash, $6,000 via DashCon's PayPal debit card, and a couple small transfers from pre-existing funds. Now, DashCon later on did promise full refunds to anybody who donated. Now, from what we heard previously, they had a list. They said, if you donated money, go write your name down on the list and how much you donated. Now tell me, does that sound like a very, very smart business idea?
Yeah, no.
Well, this whole thing didn't sound like a smart business
Yeah.
idea. You didn't have
Now the PayPal refunds, that's easy enough because you can tell where the money came from and who transferred it. But for the people who donated during it, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, especially since most of the attendees were teenagers who were more worried about getting thrown out of the hotel.
Probably.
And people behind us said we've gone to our lawyers and everything, and they said we have to go through it and check every single claim that every person has put on there. Which means they gotta go through videotapes, they gotta, have eyewitnesses, they gotta do all this shit for that.
Fun days. So what happens when you don't plan right? You don't get someone that knows what they're doing.
Let's see here. They talk about the guest cancellations. Artist Noelle Stevenson, Ginger Hayes, and Sherlock Holmes podcasters Baker Street Babes apparently were both stuck with unexpected hotel bills, which caused Stevenson to leave the convention and the Baker Street Babes to threaten legal action. Now, the organizers say this was due to clerical error on the part of the hotel, and that they always intended to pay for the guest hotel rooms.
But they just didn't?
No, they said they always intended, but apparently there was an error. I'm quoting here, an error.
Either that or the hotel just said, screw it, we're going to try to make...
I don't know, I feel like they're trying to cover up, like, they didn't do what they were
How well
supposed
they
to.
planned and everything.
No, they didn't do what they were supposed to. And the hotel was like, well, you didn't do anything correctly, so we're not
Well,
going to
here's
give
the
what you
problem.
want.
They've already posted that. They already posted out the contract that they had received from the hotel, and then the hotel demanded more money.
I don't know, I feel like...
But the problem is...
Money for electricity. I'm like, isn't that supposed to be stuck already in the contract?
It is, but the problem is if they didn't have anything in the contract and stuff that they could add stuff to that, then they could around it and stuff like that. That's why, like, if you write up a contract, you have to know what you're doing. If you don't, you're just dumb.
I don't know, I feel like they were just unprepared, they weren't knowing what they were doing, and this is all dumb. They shouldn't have ever attempted this.
So that's obvious, isn't it?
Okay. Well, another rumor was that minors were able to attend the 18 over panels. Turns out it was not true. Turns out that everybody there is saying that there was nobody under the age at any of the 18 and over panels. And what they had done was they had actually given out bands signifying your age, whether or not you were above the age of 18, whether you're below the age of 18, or whether you're above the age of 21 allowing you to drink. Which sounds like a sound plan, that's a pretty easy way of keeping track of where, the minors are.
It is and it isn't. You can get a hold of those so easily.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And you're also asking a bunch of younger adults to wear a bunch of stuff on them that they're not going to happen the whole weekend, especially not the whole weekend. That was like the worst thing about Wasabi this last year, is that they made us wear those bands for like the whole weekend, and you're just like...
Wasn't that the drinking bands that we had, so that we could go down to the bar?
No. They were the ones to let us get into anything.
Ah.
I remember for like the whole weekend we had, instead of doing the passes, they did the bands instead.
Well, you're probably not going to lose that as easily as you would a badge.
I don't know, I feel like badges are more like productive, they also look nicer.
Yeah, but the problem with that is too, I was literally like afraid to take a shower in the morning because you're just like, well...
Oh, come on, those bands are tough as hell. I remember lighting a cigarette, almost trying to light that thing on fire, and it wouldn't burn.
So, what I just got there, because I kind of zoned out for a second, is that he was trying to burn his hair with the band on it.
Rubber band, man.
I was drunk. Fuck you.
It wasn't as bad as what the people that were drinking across the table from me that one night were doing.
Alright, but here is a surprising news. DashCon 2015 is still gonna happen. In their tearful apology on the last night of the convention, one of the admins talked about learning from the mistakes of DashCon 2014. Adding the backlash has been severe, but we won't be defeated so easily. One of those mistakes was having teenagers organize part of the convention.
Yeah, that would be a big one, right there.
Let's remember, people below the age of 18 were not so smart yet.
Well, not only that, but
Like Wabi and
people
Josh.
go to school to do this.
What? I'm 18.
Yeah.
People
That's
literally
funny.
go to school to get an education on how to do
He's like
this.
12.
Yeah.
Every
What
girl I
makes
talk to
you
is like
think
12.
high schoolers can do
It's
this?
not good.
High schoolers with no money, by the way.
Every girl I talk to is like 12. That's not good enough.
Alright, but they did post on the official Tumblr
He's
account
probably
that
not good enough.
the accounts for volunteers who says that the original committee heads were teenagers. Happily, minors will not hold any position of the power moving forward.
Jojo will fuck you up.
Now, here's another question.
I'll destroy you.
When you want people to hear you getting your ass kicked on this fucking.
Should we plan on hearing more from DashCon 2015 in the
I feel like they
future?
should have stopped it.
You feel like they should stop?
Yeah,
They should just
I
cancel
think
entire
the
thing.
name is already like dead. They should do something else.
Well, what if like the Phoenix Day rise from the ashes?
I don't think so.
You don't think there's a chance of
I
that?
think they should learn from the mistakes they made already. Change those mistakes, make a new convention, and that would be kind of sad.
Rename it.
So everyone knows we're doing.
Okay, so we have Wabi-kun and Master Chef here agreeing that they should drop the name DashCon and start over with a new name.
It's one of those things, like, people will understand it, but like when a new person goes in to, like, let's say buy a
Can you
restaurant,
not die?
that old name, if they keep the name and whatnot,
It's
yes,
never going to be the same.
yes, it does cost more to get a new name or whatnot if you have to register and whatnot. But at the same time, if like it went under for a bad reason, like the food wasn't good, the service wasn't good or whatnot, that stigmatism stays. And it's
But
hard
don't
to
you
get
think
rid
that
of
would actually draw more people in just to see if it's as
Tiger's
bad as the
Eyes.
year before?
Just explodes
Or
zombies.
more people to come in to see, you know what, these guys had a bad day, had a bad weekend, hopefully they learn from it, and they go in hoping it to be better.
The Baja Blood.
You have a little bit of both, but for the most part, you have more towards the negative side.
But you gotta remember, that's no press, what's the saying here I'm trying to say?
No news
No
is
news,
good news.
yeah, no news is good news, and like,
You
no,
can help me with that.
there's no
Shut
such
the
thing
fuck
as
up.
bad publicity.
I feel
To a
like
degree, there is.
Yeah.
But to a degree, there is.
Alright, EgoBoost, Dwarf, what do you guys think on DashCon? DashCon 2015, should they keep the name, stay strong, and try to prove everybody wrong? Or do you think they should drop the name and just start over?
If it is actually good, then it doesn't matter. It
I
just
think
has to
they
be
should drop
good.
the name. They should drop the name, or just
Maybe
not do it at all.
They should just kill themselves. Like,
Okay, let's not have them kill themselves, because remember, most of this was planned by teenagers, not adults.
I think they just don't know what they're doing yet.
Okay, so we'll check in on them in 2015, and hopefully they've done better. But we'll have to wait and see.
okay.
It's on.
It's on. Are you willing to sit down and join us?
Black people.
is that
You
all?
can say whatever. You can say whatever the fuck you want. It's going on the internet.
I hate black people.
Now, why do you hate black people, Dan San?
I hate girls and gays.
Girls and what?
I'm not.
What are you, asexual?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new guest. Daniel San is here.
Bitch.
He just shouts out one-liners and some that don't make
I
sense.
just swear. Dan, say something. Ass.
What's your opinion on this, dick?
All right.
Black people.
He doesn't know, he doesn't know English very well. He's foreign.
Daniel San, pull a chair, sit with us, join us. It's not like you got anything better to do.
So you can't like videotape at the same time?
No.
Nobody
Season
wants to
2,
see
we're
us?
planning on videotaping.
We can't have like a rate my balls
That's
session?
true.
That would be on Pornhub.
Now we have Dan's. What do we rate this?
And now we have Reds.
No, no,
We're taking calls.
Well, here, you see, the second you saw your balls, that means I gotta look at them and edit the tape. So that we can put it up.
That's the
I don't want to spend a couple minutes looking at your ball more than the camera does.
Or he's gonna be like, he's gonna see it once, he's gonna be like, we're cutting this out and
Yep.
throwing that away.
So what is actually the topic here?
We're gonna have to.
Well, we just finished talking about DashCon,
Do you know what that
which
is?
was a Tumblr themed convention,
Yeah,
which
Tumblr
went
supported.
horribly wrong.
They have a ball pit and a bounce house.
A kiddie pool filled with balls.
I like balls.
Sounds like
Well,
my
what had
Saturday
happened
night.
was some of the guests had left, and in order to reimburse one of the events that had happened, they decided to give everybody who showed up to the event an extra hour in the ball pit.
Oh, I got a new topic for discussion. So when did we all last masturbate?
Oh, when did we all
This
last
morning.
Yeah,
masturbate?
mine was when I woke up today.
Yeah, this morning.
I would say last night.
A couple minutes ago. During this podcast.
You guys live together?
Yeah.
So you guys like trade off using the bathroom?
No, he's got his own bathroom. I got my own bathroom.
Okay.
There's no community sharing.
There's no community sharing here.
I bet your bathroom's gross. You're not aren't you?
My bathroom's got a urinal, so I'm happy. Alrighty.
You should see this bathroom after some nights.
That's not good.
Alright, our next topic is esports video games going mainstream. And on that, we go to Wabi-kun for more information. Wabi-kun,
Oh, okay.
what do you have for us?
Basically, what they're doing is they're saying esports to ESPN, but not ESPN 1 or ESPN 2 because
We're going to the Ocho?
no.
Damn
We're not important enough for ESPN 1 and 2. So we have to go to ESPN 3, which is just a streaming channel, really. And a lot of articles are just saying, basically, there's no need for this. If you want to see a bigger screen, you don't go with black people, clearly, because they don't have a nice TV and HDMI
No, they do
cable.
have a nice
No,
TV.
yeah,
they just gotta
they
get
have
it
my
on.
nice TV now.
But people were saying that they need to, if they want a bigger screen, see it on TV, just plug in from your laptop with HDMI cable into the TV and watch it that way. It's not anything special. Like, the only better thing is that you're not losing the quality because you're not streaming from the internet. It's actually being broadcasted, which is the upside, which a lot of people said. A lot of downside is that not a lot of people will watch it and you probably get a lot of bad publicity.
Okay, now from what I've seen and read, the first thing they're going to be broadcasting is the entirety of International Global Championship of the game Dota 2 that boasts nearly $11 million prize pool. Now, do you actually think people are actually going to turn on the TV and turn off the internet for a while?
I don't think so. I think it's got to be more of just people see it and they're like, oh, keep scrolling, see what's next on the next channel. I feel like if it's on stream, it would be a lot better. More people are on the internet anyways. Not a lot of people watch TV anymore. I stopped watching TV because everything's on the internet. Why go back to the TV?
Do you guys see this as becoming more mainstream where they start showing more video game tournaments on television?
No.
To the point?
Because basically, it's the same thing with U4. It's the exact same thing with U4.
You're talking about like with Judgment Day and all that, right?
Or like when they did the E3s. Nobody does E3 anymore. It's all streamed.
Looks the same.
It's all streamed. All the sites see it as a big way to publicize their own content and whatnot. So they all just do it on their own channels. Or on their own sites, or whatever. Most of them are just like, hey, we'll even do it live for ours. You know.
We should kiss.
As the Dwarf and EgoBoost get intimately closer.
Come on, EgoBoost.
I mean, it's
Everything's EgoBoost, Dwarf. What are you
Yeah,
guys'
yeah.
thoughts on this?
Black people steal.
Now keeps black people still
Oh, we don't
dance
know.
TVs.
I think
My
they should
daughter's
really-
virginity.
I think they should really just have it on the internet because I don't watch TV. I'm pretty sure everyone just watches Netflix. So,
What's Netflix?
What's a Netflix?
You're talking to Hulu Plus people. Actually,
Hulu Plus? What's Hulu Plus? I just go on fucking Megashare.
Oh, okay.
We do not endorse Megashare.
Alright, so
on anymore.
do we see this becoming something more in the future, or do we think this is just going to be a one-time thing?
I think it will last for a little bit, but I think before it will go away because
Well,
it literally has gotten to the point where no one does that anymore. They're either on YouTube. They're
do you
either
think this
on-
is like ESPN's last desperate moment to catch the young crowd?
I think it is. Well, and like we even got to the point where E3 really isn't even E3 anymore because we got to the point where everyone's gonna look at it on the internet anyway, so we might as well do our own thing there and then take our own thing for that.
I know.
EgoBoost,
Yeah.
any comments?
No, this is a dumb topic.
Why is it dumb?
Why is it dumb?
This is.
Inviting us.
Nope.
Nope.
He's
He's just mad because Halo isn't on TV. It's only Dota. He likes more FPSs, so you know, him not seeing Halo up there or any
Yeah,
of that stuff.
him actually looking at the
Well,
character.
here,
he's
how about
supposed to be
this?
playing,
It's all about
it's kind of
RPGs.
odd to him.
Well, here, how about this? If they start showing like fighting tournaments and first-person shooter tournaments,
Later.
Give me a kiss goodbye.
Get the fuck out of
Oh,
here.
shut up.
I'll
And as
get
we
Zach
say
on
goodbye
you.
to the dwarf and
Huh?
Daniel
I'll get
Stein.
Zach on you.
Goodbye.
Black people. Oh my god.
White people.
Goodbye.
Red people.
Blue people.
Red
Smurfs?
versus blue.
Oh, do you want to go into that topic?
What's the topic again?
Okay,
Oh,
how about
yes.
we talk about machinimas?
Oh!
Sweat.
Well, are we done talking about the gaming topic?
No, I'm done with it. I told you everything I did my research on. People had upside, which was basically, you know what, we're getting better quality, it's going direct from TV, and we can watch it with no lag. But there's also downside
Okay,
where...
I don't really believe that there's gonna be no lag.
Well, like how you have the buffer times on streams.
Okay.
You're not going to have that.
Because you're not gonna have a bunch of people tuning into the same thing on the internet,
Yeah.
the same
It's
site.
gonna be is it's gonna be a shorter. It's gonna be a different frequency than when you can do it with the internet. Because with the internet, you have to go through the internet speed, and then it has to buffer it, and then it has to do this other stuff. With the cable usually technically is faster anyways. You're gonna have a direct. It doesn't have to go through the modem. It doesn't have to go through all this other stuff. Like, because you basically have to tell your computer to do this. And the computer has to tell this to do that. And then it has to load it up. And then it has to go through the quality checks and all this other stuff. With the TV, it's already built into it, and the TV's just getting it straight up.
Alrighty. Well, I guess we pretty much got that covered then. Well, here, we got one more subject before we get on the topic of machinima. EgoBoost. Rumors of Studio Ghibli closing up shop, and just gathering money from all the movies that they made over the years. Is it true? Is it happening?
Well, you know, the dude retired again, and he said,
Well, he's already retired like 4 or 5 times, so
Yeah.
that's no surprise.
he said the reported insider said it could be, you know, GB's last, because they're making one more movie or whatever. It's when Marty was there. I don't know if it's out or if it's going to be out, but they said that that might be the last from GB Studios. But I don't think it's like 100% confirmed.
I think that's one of the
So,
interesting
well, here's a question to EgoBoost, because he's a big fan of the studio. Would you be sad if they closed down?
Well, yeah. I've seen like every single movie, but yeah, almost.
Can you name almost every single movie for us?
No, because there's a shit ton. I can name some of my favorites.
Name some of your favorites, so that way the viewers here can go check them out if they haven't seen them yet.
Princess Mononoke, that's like my all-time favorite. Howl's Moving Castle, Tales from Earthsea, Grave of Fireflies, Tales from the Heart, Castle in the Sky, Kiki's Delivery Service. There's like The Secret of Arietti, which is like in cahoots with Disney, and
Well,
Ponyo.
actually, Disney bought the rights to show to do all the translations for it, all the dubbing and whatnot. That's why I said it
Makes sense.
Disney is buying a whole lot of shit right now.
Well, they got the power to do it. They've always had the power to do
Or
it.
has it become self-aware?
The problem
Could we be
is-
seeing a Disney apocalypse anytime soon? Where
Yes.
just armies of Goofies, Donald Duck, and Mickey Mouse rolling down the streets.
Well, here's the funniest thing that people don't understand. Like, 'cause the whole thing with Star Wars and them buying in Star Wars, you don't realize that they already had a partnership with them a long time ago, and that's why they got to do the Indiana Jones ride. They got to do Star Tours. Star Tours was one of the oldest rides at Disneyland. Not really, but it's one of them. And the fact that they just now decided to upgrade it is, you know, surprising, because it was clearly 40-some years before they updated it. But like, you also look at Pixar. Pixar was an offshoot of LucasArts. You know, they got bought out by them. It's not that different, but we're seeing kind of the same thing as where Disney ended up buying out all the Fox Studios back in the 90s. Well, early 2000s.
Yeah, that's when they really started buying everything up.
Yeah. And so that got them with the Spawn Studios, which technically were all connected to all the Marvel animated series that we grew up with, which was their first into being able to say, hey, why don't we just buy the rest of the Marvel series? I'd be done with it. So, I mean, like, these moves aren't as out of the blue as people think that they are.
Well, EgoBoost, do you think these are just rumors, or is there an actual possibility that the studio is like, you know what, we've done amazing work. We've etched our name in stone.
They might still help out with stuff. They might go in cahoots with other things again. They might just not do individual films, single films.
What makes me sad is it's the audience. And that's what the problem is. Because like when Secret of Aria came out, and Fun, I've been working at the theater when those came out. The parents won't sit into a movie like that anymore. The kids won't sit in a movie like that anymore. Which is sad because they're actually really good movies with really
They're beautiful
plot.
movies. All their movies are beautiful.
The problem is there's plot. There's sometimes not a lot of action, because they're more plot driven than action driven, which kids our days can't do it with their short vision plans.
Oh, yeah.
Adults can't do it because they just don't want to anymore.
We all need it now. We
Yeah.
need the information. We want to see the ending. We want to make sure it don't
Well, we
hit.
want to fight them, shoot them up, beat them up, kill them all, or
Stupid comedies.
stupid comedies. Stupid comedies that are over the top stupid, like
Yeah.
Tammy and it's just like they're not funny. They're just,
Well, wait, here, hold on a second. Speaking, what are the new movies that have come out this week, Master Chef?
oh, a bunch of good other stuff. Let's see.
Anything good?
Not that I can really think of, but there's probably some that people would like. A lot of people would like, and there's probably people screaming at the thing right now. It's a big rated R movie that came out that everyone's gonna go on to see.
The sex
The
tape?
Purge.
Oh, Purge the Anarchy.
The one movie that did not need a sequel.
I really
I
haven't
kinda-
seen
I-
either one.
I kind of I want to see a prequel to. I want to see how all this builds up. Like, who are these founding fathers that decided, you know what, just for 12 hours, all
No,
crap is-
24 hours.
Oh, it's 24 hours? I thought it was 12 hours.
You're right. I think it is 12 hours.
For 12 hours, all crap is legal. Is that a system that would fly here right now?
Oh, this is America.
That's the whole point.
It's America, and the movies and the fictional world they live in actually
No, I
happen
know.
in America.
It's nothing like that is going to happen. And if it does, well, I'm going around in a bus and we're
Kind of
robbing
like-
banks.
It's kind of like the
I'd be down with that.
alternate
Yeah.
versions of Bioshock are based off of people that separate from America because they think that they're too unconservative. And I use conservative real loosely because there is a point where it becomes a dictatorship.
Okay, well now that we've segued ourselves into the movie section, there's something I want to talk about real quick. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
Why is this getting released?
Childhood.
Great.
I was about to say, Michael Bay's already ruined Transformers
I
for
hate how they
us.
look.
Oh,
He's
that's
ruined
okay.
Pearl Harbor for us.
It's okay. Disneyland literally has run Pirates of the Caribbean for me. Don't care what you say. Don't care what you say. Don't
so
care what you
good.
say. I grew up on that ride. I have been to Disneyland more times, actually probably just as many times as years that I've been here alive. I've gone about maybe 20 times.
Okay, now I'm sure we've all seen the trailer for the show, for the movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
they look hideous.
First, okay, we're going to go around the table here.
I like the
First
80s
impressions.
picture was much
Wabi-kun,
better.
you're up first. First impressions of it.
They look ugly. The jokes are stupid already from just the preview. Like the previews should make
Well,
you
we
laugh.
really
make you
only
think,
have
oh,
one
hey,
joke.
Don't worry, it's just a mask. He takes off his mask. Really?
Yeah, see?
No.
Well, I think
they should find a way to lure us in. Like even there's no even suspense in the trailers. I'm just seeing it now. I'm like, oh, this is happening.
Well, what would you call them? Like, if you looked at them and were like, how would you describe them?
How would I describe them?
Yeah, how would you describe the Turtles? As somebody who is a fan of the show but hasn't seen the new trailer.
Ugly as fuck. Giant turtles.
Monkey faces.
With monkey faces
There you go.
that are green, bald. Okay,
They look like Kappas.
give
Without the beak.
think of a bald head guy, and then scrunch his face down, and that's what you got. That's what you got right there. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Let's add a mask.
The old guy with the bad osteoporosis, so his back's hunched over like it was a shell. Yeah. There you go.
It's terrible. I wouldn't even recommend them.
EgoBoost. Your first reaction to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They're just disgusting. If they're hideous, and I don't even. I seen this like edited version that like random fans made, and
Uh-huh.
they look way fucking better. With the same animation, they just look like turtles, and I was like, why couldn't they have just done this?
Like, did they remove the nose, just make it smoother?
Just
or
make it
something?
be.
Yeah, they
made the beat.
Look
Oh,
like
they
made
they're
the
like
turtle
turtles, like
Yeah.
not fucking people.
Yeah. Oh well, they had something with Ninja Turtles.
Now,
Oh, let's make them look like turtles.
Anything else you want to say about the movie besides the turtles being super fucking
Not
ugly?
gonna watch it.
You're not gonna watch it.
April doesn't look anything like April should.
Wait, April's in there?
Okay, hold on.
I couldn't
Before
even
we
tell.
get to that-
I couldn't even tell.
Hold on. Master Chef, your thoughts on the trailer and everything in it.
Once again, I am old enough that I was spoiled shitless as a kid because I grew up on the best cartoons ever because I had the reruns from the 80s,
the
ends
90s.
of the 90s with all the Marvel stuff, Saban at its height. I mean, we were talking about Rift Tracks with Godzilla, the 98 version. I think because they're going to rip it to pieces. I'm just like, this is actually not bad of a movie. And if it hadn't been
Wait, here, hold on, wait a
minute.
minute. Not that bad of the movie. Let me remind you one of the most famous lines from that movie. That's a lot of fish.
Yeah. Yeah. The plot was better though. Like I said, like a lot of it is like the acting wasn't bad. The plot wasn't bad. It was one of those ones where like the script wasn't that great, and if
The
it had been
characters were
named-
very bland themselves.
except for the main character.
Okay, hold
Nick,
on.
Dr. Nick was very good because of Matthew.
I kind of want to get back on subject.
But okay, yeah. Back on the subject. Really spoiled. Grew up watching, going back and forth between Fox and ABC and CBS, and they ran all of them. I watched the first 3 movies, the Ninja Turtle movies, the originals, like every day when I was a kid.
Okay, speaking of the original 3 movies, the Fine Brothers recently did a Kids React to video. Now, if you don't know the Fine Brothers, you go check them out on YouTube. They do hilarious videos with elders, YouTubers, teenagers, and kids. And they showed the original 80s cartoon trailer for the Ninja Turtles.
Or
Some-
to our
oh.
European viewers, they were Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
That would have been a lot better. But what had happened, I sat there watching the video of these kids react to it, and some of them were like, okay, and then they saw the new trailer, and then they saw pictures from the old movies, and they were like, okay, the turtles from the old movies are scary as fuck. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was growing up, I thought that was cool. It was an advance in technology. I was like, wow, they actually look like they're standing there. They're real.
Okay, going off of that. No, I feel like today everyone's a bunch of pansies. If you watch, I kind of want to go over the subject, if we may.
Go ahead.
Okay,
We're hours late. We might as well.
Okay, so basically what I'm going to go over is old cartoons versus new cartoons and how they differ. Okay, so first example, I'm going to go, nope, you shut up. No, I'm going to continue talking. You're going to sit there and be quiet. You two and you two.
EgoBoost is already being quiet. He hasn't said anything because he's in his happy place right now. He doesn't want to think about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's got to his happy place.
No, we're done here. I'm going to continue. Okay, so the first example I'm going to bring up is Pokemon. How lame is Pokemon now compared to how it once was? I know, maybe it's just nipple generations, whatever, but no. Children today are so protected about everything. We got away with so much in our cartoons, they don't get away with half the stuff we do. Most of the stuff's censored. If you go onto our games, or even if you go into card games, you see the censorship in America versus Japan. Oh my god, everything's censored. You have a cross, censored, no, fuck you, get rid of that. You have cleavage, nope, gotta cut that, like pretty much 90% of the way down. Let's
Doesn't
see.
mean 90% of the way up because you push more down.
No, they get rid of those.
They're gone.
And then if it has anything dealing with health, nope. No, out the window, they're pretty much just shady bricks right there at that point. No, I told you, you gotta be quiet.
Okay,
It's
I'll be quiet
already-
until the end. I'll be quiet until the end.
And now I'm not going to the other side. This is the same topic, but like still going into this. Well, I'm not going over to SpongeBob. How SpongeBob got away with so goddamn much versus now. I watched new SpongeBob and I look at old SpongeBob. I'm like, oh my god, old SpongeBob. How dirty can he get with all these jokes? Now you go to new SpongeBob. Oh, there's a dirty joke here. There's a dirty joke there. Oh, there goes the 2 dirty jokes for the rest of the show. And this is kind of lame. There's no like big thing happening it's just kind of randomish, which SpongeBob always was. Like, now I'll let you guys talk. Yeah, it was SpongeBob randomish.
It was random as hell.
No,
I never watched it because I thought it was stupid.
Okay, anyways, but it was whatever. It was random to me as a child, and like even looking now, it's still kind of random.
I'm surprised that show is still on the air, even after there have been people saying that.
What I tell you?
There is in several screens throughout the entire SpongeBob series. There is a blue fish without pants on.
That has a boner.
And he's got this little nub. Always showing.
Shout out to Baby Dill. But anyways, when I go out.
Well, wait, are we talking about Dill from the Rugrats? Because that kid was a straight
He
stoner.
knows who he is. But you gotta realize, like, all this stuff that we don't, like, they can't get away with now, because there's so many laws protecting children, compared to back then. Like, even if you go back, like, let's say 20 years before I was born, they got away with so much on TV.
Bugs Bunny in a dress playing drag.
I was gonna say they showed Escaflowne on Fox Kids. Escaflowne, that is a violent anime.
Well, as long
Like,
as you
by
change the
today's
color,
standards.
as long as you change the color of the blood, it's not so violent.
That was the scary thing. And then like Fist of the North Star. That's why a lot of those laws got into place.
Yeah, but
after watching that.
Yeah, just too much protection over everything, though. And, like, here's the best example, going into anime now. Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Well,
You
hold on, Kai.
see-
Well,
oh, no,
Let's
No,
look
no,
at
no.
when they were aired
No.
at both times, and actually at the time
Oh
mattered.
my god.
Because Toonami is part of Adult Swim, and so they
At
were
the time,
allowed
yes.
to do that.
Toonami was originally where Adult Swim was. So they were allowed to show all the blood and everything.
Because
Kai
it was
still
for
has all
more
that, but the
mature.
unfortunate part is when Kai is aired on TV, they still have to censor it.
Because it's on Nick Kids.
No,
Nicktoons.
no. They could have censored it, but they, like, baby-proofed that. Baby-proofed it. Everything got censored.
That's because it's airing on television during the daytime.
No. They even changed the time for the second season, and nope, still everything was censored. It was so baby-proof, right? At one point, I didn't even think it was
Well, you got
Dragon Ball Z. I didn't even know it was Dragon Ball Z for one episode. I didn't know what I was watching.
Well, you gotta remember, Nicktoons is a children's channel that does not
No.
have an adult block.
Nickelodeon. Nicktoons is not for children. Nicktoons is more targeted towards the teens. If you see any of that stuff, most of the stuff on Nicktoons is not children's stuff that they should be watching.
Yeah, that's Nick.
It is more towards the teen base. Like how now Cartoon Network is not Cartoon Network for like little kids. It's actually targeted more towards teens. If you watch Adventure Time regular show, oh my god, little people should not be watching that.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Children should not be watching Adventure Time. That shit
is
will
amazing.
scar them.
It is amazing, but for little children, I don't think it's
Made by
appropriate.
the same people that do.
They should.
Made by the same people who did Mad, right?
Well, no, it's the same people. What was it? With Catbug and all that.
Don't you be cat dog.
No, Catbug.
Okay.
Anyways, well, he tries to remember.
Yeah.
But that's just my thing. Like stuff is so censored now. Stuff is so lame. Like I stopped watching TV after I realized how much lame stuff was. The blaming. Like when I was a child, I was able to watch Futurama at like 6 o'clock, and I'd be so happy. And now I have to wait till like early in the wee morning, like 2 o'clock, till I can see a Futurama.
I remember.
Yep.
Actually, Futurama actually does show during the day, but it's between like
And it's
1
on
and
hours.
2.
It's in obscure hours where you don't like.
Where you're not actually supposed to be home.
Exactly.
Where you're at work, where you're at school, where you're at your, you're out
You're
with
not
friends.
supposed to be.
Home.
Yeah, that's the problem. Other than that, you have to go and wait till 3 in the morning. Oh, I can see Futurama now. But you can still see Family Guy. You can still
Family
see
Guy every night at 8.
So you can still actually
10.
American Dad, Cleveland Show. You can still see all that,
Cleveland Show is the best.
and you can still see King of the Hill, which, oh my God,
Lame as fuck.
we should actually go through King of the Hill and make and see how many sexual innuendos we can point out just in one episode.
All of it.
Because I feel like
Well,
that
did you
was
guys
so
see?
funny.
Did you guys hear that there's kind of like a creepypasta rumor floating around that what's Hank's son's name? Bobby is not really Hank's son.
No, that's that. Let's not go into that.
Bravest Warriors. That's what it's called.
Okay, there we go.
And that is definitely not a show for little kids. But it's a podcast one that they have on YouTube. It's actually pretty good.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get back on topic with the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, if this sucks, if this sinks, if this bombs at the box
With Michael
office,
Bay, so
are we sure it's Michael Bay? Because he's only producing. He's not direct. It has his touches with explosions.
That's like saying that the new sequels will not suck because George Lucas is nowhere near it. George Lucas will always be near it, and
Of
that's
course.
the problem.
Well, we can't really make fun of George Lucas because when he gave away Star Wars, he donated like 14 billion or millions of dollars to charity, and like you can't. You want to joke the
blaming
guy.
him as a man. I just don't think the guy should direct. He directed the first one. He directed episode 4. Said he would never direct again because he had a heart attack. He almost died from it because of so much stress, and he didn't think he could do it. They did not direct the other 2. Comes back, directs the first 3, makes some crap because he's just a little kid with a new toy. Goes on, does like Air Dogs and all this other stuff, and they're just bad. And then he still thinks he can do stuff like that. It's just like, as a director, he is not good. As a person, as a producer, he's good.
Okay, but Michael, we're not. If this thing bombs, all blame falls on Michael Bay, just because his name attached, and you could tell
Yes.
where his sprinkles are.
Oh, there's a difference between seasoning and over seasoning, and he will over season. Trust me.
All right. Well, here's some information I have for the movie for you guys. The leader of Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, is voicing Leonardo, the leader of the Turtles.
That's dumb.
Now let me ask you guys this: would you follow Johnny Knoxville into battle?
No. And first off, I think
At least
that
you know he won't back out.
Nah.
Johnny, are you saying that Johnny Knoxville is that like Navy captain who's like, bring me my red shirt and bring me my brown pants?
Yes. But he knows that we're fucking going for it.
Okay. We also have news that the that the Turtles were made to be heroes by Shredder, who is played by a white businessman.
Flame.
So can we stop talking about bad stuff and get on with the good news?
Oh, there's more where that came from.
There's more?
There's even a rumor that Splinter in the movie is April O'Neil's father.
Okay, so
I'm just throwing shit at you.
first off, April's in this movie still
Yes.
has not gotten confirmation.
So I think that this movie's just going to be bad.
Well, we won't know until we go and see it.
I'm not gonna go see it.
I'm not gonna go see it. I work there.
You'll
They're gonna
be
be like, do a theater check. I'm like, I'm not going in there.
No, the credits are still rolling. Fuck you guys. I'm not going in there. What if I see a seat?
I was like, with X-Men, I was just like, I'm not doing that. If I wanted to go see shit, I'd go clean the bathrooms.
So I'm pretty much guessing that out of the 4 of us here right now, I'm gonna be the only one brave/stupid enough to go into that theater.
Yep. Probably.
Sit down for the probably almost 2 hours this movie's
Well,
gonna
probably
be.
almost 3 hours. It's Michael Bay.
Fuck! Can I just get some like free refills?
Nope.
Damn it! You're not gonna charge me double when I go
I'll
there.
get popcorn maybe, but
Yeah. Well, at least it's free popcorn. I can at least
Are
get
we
that.
done with the bad news? Can I get out of my corner?
Yes, you can get it out of your corner. After we reach this.
No,
We're gonna get-
can I leave for a second? I need to go take all this shit and throw it in the toilet.
No. You're gonna sit right here.
I'll give you a plunger to make it go down soon.
I'll use the head
It's pretty big.
Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to get my information up here.
Are you sure there's no throwing shit in the toilet?
There was no throwing the shit into it.
Can I be a monkey and throw this shit back at them?
Yes.
Okay.
You can take a shit, go to Michael Bay house if it bombs, and just ring the doorbell and wait for him.
I don't even need to wait.
Regardless. I'm not even gonna wait. I'm gonna be right at his door saying, motherfucker, get out of here.
The cops get called. Put the shit bucket down. Fuck you.
Don't get shot in the
You're not allowed to give us this anymore.
He has ruined my childhood for the last time.
I'm the last human being on this.
I'm one of the few people who can't stand this shit.
Okay, so let's go over the last biggest shit pile you had for us for this movie.
The last biggest shit pile I have for you from this movie. Actually, no, because I was actually gonna move on to something else. I don't have really anything else.
Are they gonna do a cameo of Street Sharks?
So
That would be awesome.
we're done?
Piece of shit.
We don't have to listen to this shit anymore?
We're done with the Ninja Turtles. Yes.
That's the kind of cool shit that we had back in the early 90s. We had
Let's
stuff
continue
like
then.
Street Sharks, man.
Let's continue.
Alright.
Pieces of shit.
Give me a second here. I'm trying to
I
pull
go
this
in.
up.
Don't touch Street Sharks. I'll come for you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey there, folks. I'm trying to pull it up, but unfortunately my devices are being a pain in the ass with me.
So, talking about localization, what about like how badly localization happens in video games? I.e. Nintendo of America, cough.
Hey,
As unfortunate
hey,
as much
hey,
as I like Nintendo.
Hey, the
I
guy
would-
in charge of that looks good right now. Okay, he lost a lot of weight.
He did.
Only because they had to specially build him his own Nintendo Wii Fit
Yep.
in order to hold his fatness up.
Hey,
Alright.
not everyone can be ready and ready.
Okay, now let me ask you guys this: do you believe that right now we are in the golden age of video games, and that core gamers are afraid of change?
No. I think we passed up on that.
EgoBoost,
Glory days of the
On what?
will you pay attention, please? I know the ceiling looks amazing.
Mikey is fucking trolling me.
Give me my stylus.
You know what? Am I gonna have to like just duct tape you guys to the chairs?
Send him to corners. That's right now.
Stylus.
Give him the fucking stylus before I come over there and twerk on your ass.
It's a little weird. I could just.
That's not weird. That with the shit that we have to put up with.
iPad for stylus. That seems
I
fair.
can see it. It's right.
This is mine. This
Okay.
is the treasures I found.
Please pay attention, guys. Okay, we really don't have that much time. Now, Peter Moore, EACOO, claims that core gamers are afraid of change, and also believes that we are in the golden age of video games right now.
The golden age.
Well, I think we passed the golden age.
Yeah, we did.
The way I think that they're saying it's golden age because well our technology is fantastic and our systems are badass.
Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry.
And yet
I'm
they're
sorry.
still putting out half-ass games and they're charging you for the full
I was
price.
gonna say,
only to have you
graphics
pay.
are worth so much.
Yeah, and then
in
have you
modern
pay
day.
more for the game later in DLC.
We'll see. It's just how they make money. People will do it and people will continue to do it.
I'd rather spend the $60 on a hard copy of Final Fantasy III for the Super NES because I know it's an amazing story, it's an amazing game. I don't have to buy any DLC to unlock better characters or anything like that
Yeah,
because it's a
you would rather
complete
do that.
game. I would do it in a heartbeat because that game was freaking amazing.
But I mean, most
Okay,
people
so hold
want
on.
new
From
stuff.
what I'm getting from these two, from what I'm getting from Master Chef and from EgoBoost here, Master Chef is the kind of guy who will play the game and work his ass off to get every single unlockable, every weapon and stuff like that.
I will not.
You will not.
What I am the type of person of is three things. First of all, I gotta be able to play it. Like if I can't get into it and I can't play it, I'm not gonna be interested. It has to have a good story. I cannot go through those grinder games where there's just no story, no reason for me to even do it. Halo's gotten so bad that it's just like I don't even want to play it because there's no story behind it. Like it used to be
Well,
like
he's got a story now. He's got to look for Cortana.
Was that like
Granted,
the whole
it's
point
not-
of
it's
three?
not- it's-
Wasn't that like the whole point of 3 was him trying to like?
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
the whole point of 3 was to save Earth, to save all the lives, get Cortana back, get booty.
I'm pretty
Oh wait,
sure.
so it's like the
mostly
same
about the
thing as
multiplayer.
Bioshock. Escape this underwater city. Bioshock 2, escape this underwater city, and Bioshock Infinite. Escape this city up in the clouds. Oh man, great formula change, guys. Actually, though, I will say the plot from that game actually was actually pretty good because the story just blew your mind from the story platform. But like, it can't be the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, here, if we look at past generations, what you paid for was you paid for a full complete game. Sometimes, if it was a big giant game like an RPG or anything like that, it spanned several discs. Final Fantasy VII, I think one of the games was called Star Ocean, I think.
Star Ocean was a good one.
You know,
but even like some of those,
but they were complete games, and you know, you played the game. Sometimes and like you had like the original Halo multiplayer, you had everything. You weren't paying for a DLC to get an extra few maps.
Yeah,
you weren't paying microtransactions just to unlock a certain gun.
Well, things would be
In
more expensive
multiplayer.
like that.
Because like in Halo 2,
They put out the actual
$5.
game and then they start working on the DLC.
Well,
so
the
they're
only
like,
problem
okay,
is
we just built this, you know, just go ahead and try it out.
Well, but the only problem is that they're not putting out the full games anymore. They're putting out the games and then adding parts that they already did later and charging you an extra 15 or 20 bucks for
like
it.
Oh, yeah.
or like
Just
just
let them
pissed off everyone
make more
with
money.
Mass Effect 3 Day 1 DLC.
Yeah, what about the day one DLC? Shouldn't that already be unlocked? Why should we just have to pre-order to get
Or
that?
why wouldn't that be a pre-order exclusive?
That's to get you to buy the game. To make
Oh
sure
yeah,
they
yeah.
have their
I'm sorry,
numbers.
because buying the game to get DLC was
Okay,
not
well,
enough
here's
to
what EA has
allow
done.
us to get it.
Let's talk about EA for a bit. They decided, they did the Battlefield thing, right? Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, they put up what they call the premium package, which is online. You purchase this for like 16,000 Microsoft points, which was like almost what, $50. You unlock everything in the game. You get all the future DLC, which you don't have to pay for.
Yeah, see, they do that for COD and Halo as well.
But
Also-
why are they doing that?
Or like, let's look at another EA.
More money,
Did
and
they do that?
They
Yeah,
know
but is
they're
that
gonna
fair to us?
They're gonna release new maps every month or whatever. So that just makes sure that you get all of them. You don't have to worry about it. when
Okay,
the
but
time
we don't
comes.
want new maps every month. We want them to work on it. And look at Battlefield 4's
Balancing
release.
it.
The second it came out, it was buggy as hell. Did they
Still is
patch
buggy
it?
as
It
hell.
still is buggy as hell. Did they patch anything? No. What they do? They, we're patching this to make this weaker, this to make this stronger, and we're giving you a couple maps. Oh, by the way, this is all going to cost you an extra $15.
Okay, well, see, that's just a bad game. Get over
Or-
it.
or have
That's
it
not
like-
the only game that's doing it, though.
No.
A lot of these games are coming out, they're buggy as hell, they're half-assed, they're half-finished.
Well, then here, just
Or,
don't buy bad
like,
games.
here's the best example
buy
of
bad
this.
games.
And once again, EA is to blame for this. Look at Dragon Age 1. Look at it. Think about how great that gameplay was, how great the actual story was, how immersive it was, how the DLC actually enhanced the game without being necessary to the game. And then look at what happened when they did Dragon Age 2. Completely half-assed. And then instead of fixing it, they
There's
just
a-
launched 20 DLCs to it.
There's a difference
Well,
between
yeah, that's how they're doing.
buying a
nowadays.
good game and getting the DLC for it months after the game's come out. And then there's a difference between putting out half a game and then charging your customers every couple of months so that they can get the full game experience.
Or like, once again with the Dragon Age, they released the DLC like almost 3 months later after it came out. That was like a little side story that was a continuation of the main story.
Look at what happened with Mass Effect. People didn't like the game. Or they did like it, they didn't like the ending.
They did not like the story of it, and they threw a bitch fit over it. Where is that outrage anymore? We're just like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah,
Bravely
now we're
Default.
just sitting
Bravely
here
Default.
taking this, and there's the gaming companies behind us, patting us on our butts, calling us good little Catholic boys.
Like Bravely Default. I got halfway through that game, and I realized, I wasn't even halfway through the game. I realized, this is Final Fantasy IV. Why am I playing Final Fantasy IV? This is Square Enix, so I understand that they can take stuff from their older games, but this is
exactly like it. Okay. And then you're just like, okay, I know how it ends. Doesn't matter anymore. The game literally died then for me. That and then they put that.
Imagine this: you're playing Call of Duty. You're playing the newest Call of Duty. You get halfway through it, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, you want to get to this stage? You know, you think you reached the end. It's like, oh no, there's still an extra 10 or 15 missions left.
Call of Duty
You want
sucks.
to unlock those missions? You gotta pay us an extra $20."
Okay, they don't do that for any of the games I play because I don't play bad games.
Okay, imagine if they did that for any of the other Scrolls in the future.
Wait.
No, I'm not saying you could have it.
If you look at Oblivion,
this.
Shivering Isles is the greatest.
I don't
DLC.
play-
It's a
No,
whole
but
game
that's
by
I'm not saying.
itself.
That's not what I'm saying. But I'm talking about future games.
They will. Get over it. It's just how it's going now. They
And
need
that
to make
doesn't
more
piss
money.
you off.
No.
You don't want a full-fledged game.
I like
You don't want a
DLC.
game that you're putting
It's like
$60 on.
opening a present. It's new. I love DLC. It's the best. Whenever I get DLC for any of the Bethesda games that I play, which is like all of them, it's the greatest thing ever. New Vegas has a shit ton of them.
Yeah, but the problem behind that was they gave you a full game which you can explore and do stuff in.
Fallout
Whereas
Vegas sucked
games,
dick.
whereas games now are just they're like, here's a half-finished product. 2 months later, we'll push out what we call a DLC and call it the ending.
Yeah, it happens.
No, we should not stand by and let this happen.
It happens.
No, we should not let that happen.
It does happen.
We're going
Daniel
to have
Son?
to let it happen.
Danielson and Josh are back.
I'm gonna go in now because this is being really stupid listening to all this because you're dumb, and you're dumb. They're doing it so
You're
they can make
dumb.
money, so they can get more
No, I
products
can
out
talk.
faster.
I can
No,
understand
you're
that.
gonna be quiet now. Okay, so now they're trying to make money, so they're gonna release each DLC so they can make more money, so they can grow as a franchise. That's what they did. When you had Call of Duty 4, you got like 2 backpacks and that was it. And they grew and they got Modern Warfare 2. And then they grew from that and we got whatever we got after that, which is Black Ops, something like that. And we grew from that, and now we have what we have right now.
I don't
That's what
think
Call of
Mikey
Duty
knows
did.
what's even going
No,
on.
I do know what's going on. You guys are saying that DLC is dumb. They aren't giving you the
No,
full
I'm
game.
not- listen.
No. You're not saying they're giving you the full game when they sell you the product. They're buggy as hell, all this other stuff. Yes, I understand that. But they're doing it so when they sell a game, they get the product, and then they can grow because they're making their followers that are loyal to them. They're trying to gain loyalty. They're not trying to gain new people. They're trying to gain loyalty from all their older players, so they can keep them through. And that's what they're doing. Ever since Black Ops, I realized that. That's why I stopped playing the Call of Duty games because I wasn't loyal to them. The game was the real same, just retextured, everything like that. Yes, they give you a complete game for like. I'll bring up Black Ops again. Best example, you don't get all the zombie mats. You had for pre-order, if you pre-ordered Hard Edition or Prestige Edition, you got the old map packs. Not until way later did everyone else get those map packs. Yeah, that's bringing back in what you said about Mass Effect with how you had to pre-order the game to gain something. Well, here you had to pre-order the game to get a DLC that was way down the line. Well, that's really cool because that shows how low you are that you want to be a part of that game. You want to be part of that franchise. That's what's really cool about that. That's where it comes into loyalty with the DLC. They're showing, hey, are you loyal to us? Then you want to support us with all these maps that we're
I don't
giving you.
agree.
Okay,
I've not
one
even
question
worked on
though, real quick. How does that work for like something like Square Enix that's been around for a long time? How does that justify
So
them just
your
copying
example
and
with
pasting?
Bravely Default, that might be cool because this is like the best example, which is really cool actually. They're trying to bring newer people into what old franchises did. People don't know. Younger people that play the new game, they don't know what you knew because you were there during that generation. We like people like me. We weren't like technically there. We were, but we were like, oh, diapers, pretty much.
At the same time, they have redone 4 so many times. It was released on the DS right before the 3DS came out. So, like, them just re-releasing it, they should have just re-released it again instead of trying to.
You look like my
They
grandpa.
want to put a new spin on it. They want to appeal to younger audience. This is like what I was saying earlier. They always want to appeal to someone. So like how I was saying with Cartoon Network, they're appealing to the teenage group, not the little kids anymore. How they're doing with Nicktoons. They're not appealing to the younger kids. They're appealing to the teenage group. This all goes back to who they're trying to appeal to, not who they're making the games for.
Okay, but do you believe we should be paying $60 for unfinished, buggy as hell games?
Now, your example with Battlefield, this is a weird example because I was loyal to Battlefield. I played all the way from Battlefield to all the way Bad Company 2, played Battlefield 3, dropped it after that. But I was part of the big TG community with Battlefield. I was all incorporated with that. Don't know if they're still around, but I was incorporating all that. The game was good in 2. 3 was a little buggy, but they fixed it with the bugs that I found. Maybe you're seeing different bugs that everyone
No,
else
I'm
is seeing.
talking about
No,
back
I know,
before.
I know.
Yeah.
But when they had 3, their bugs were fixed like this.
Yeah.
Every week there's pretty much a patch. Bam, fix, bam, fix, bam, fix. And everything was fine. When 4 came out, I didn't actually play 4, but what I've heard from people, 4 was amazing in the aspect that they knew what they were doing, but they didn't have the time to finish. People think they were on time restraints. The other thing, before you go off, they also believe that DICE was actually done with the franchise. DICE did not want to do it. They just wanted to re-release something so that it looks nice and this would be their final product. They didn't think it was going to turn out that bad with all the bugs, but they thought, well, you know what? We're going to try to appeal to a new person that wants to create their own lobby, do all this, and we're going to throw that out there to them, see
You're
what they
talking,
can
of
do.
course, to owning your own server.
Yes. They want to throw that out to someone to appeal to them so their friends can play on that server.
Well, here, I don't have a problem with the owning your own server part. That was one thing that I did not have a problem with. The only problem I had with it was, why don't they do that for their older games?
Because it was a new idea coming in. Like, they can't, like, Halo. Let's bring in Halo
You
again.
can't go backwards.
Yeah.
You'd have to literally rewrite the software that
Yes.
was in the game and code it in the game
Yes.
itself, and you can't do that on a disc version of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's saying, like, how with Halo. Okay, we added all to these abilities in Reach. We can't go back to Halo 3 and throw in the abilities to Halo 3.
They could do a re-release of it, and they could
Like
add
they do
those
with-
in.
Which
but-
they're not doing with the Master Chief Collection.
No.
Exactly. But that's just what I'm saying.
But that's a nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
You literally, when you re-release a game,
I
you
like
have
Halo.
to change something of it to make it better.
That's all I have to say.
But at the same time, you have to keep it the same that everyone fell in love with. It's like with Ocarina of Time when they redid it for the 3DS. They updated all the visuals and everything else like that. They had the gyroscope, the gyro sensor for all the aiming and whatnot. But you could turn it off if you didn't like it. But at the same point, they had to keep it all the same. It still had the same MIDIs, it still had the same soundtrack. They had to update it a little bit, but still make it sound the same. Still make it feel the same. Still make it the same game.
And that goes back to the loyalty of the people
Yeah.
that they're trying to appeal to make sure that they keep up and follow them.
Yeah.
Just the same way. Okay, I'm seeing your point.
Not
But
even
do we need to have all the
His
microtransactions?
Master Chief would be a bug.
It, like I say, it just goes back to loyalty. If you're loyal to the company, you're going to support the company and what they're doing.
It's one of those things that people are finding out that they can
Buzz
keep it going, keep the buzz on it, keep the game. Because, you know, literally, there are those games that we play once and then we're done with them, so we turn them in. How do you keep that from happening? Every so often you're like, oh, well, here's a new DLC. Here's a new little side story, and all of a sudden you go back to it and you're like, wow, this game is actually pretty good. Let's go play it again. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do. And that's what a lot of Nintendo does when they do DLC. Or they're usually to help you, like for the Fire Emblem ones, the ones that they did for those were specific maps either to help you farm, to give you more story, and to actually tie in the different universes that were Fire Emblem.
Okay, now going off of this, I was a big Call of Duty, Halo fan, Battlefield fan. I was in between the three all the time. I would switch games. Every time they would get a new release, I would go support that game, buy the DLC for the microtransaction, do all that, and play the game.
No,
It would
I'm not
boost up.
talking about the DLC. I'm talking about the microtransaction inside the game. Whereas, like in Battlefield, I think in Battlefield 3 they started doing it, where you could buy certain packs for a certain amount of Microsoft points or for a certain amount of dollars,
Okay.
and unlock it. The pay-to-win thing.
Okay, so that's always been there.
That has. It's been in a different way than you thought. It's like with Mass Effect 3, they did that basically with the multiplayer online. You didn't really need it, but it helped out. Like the Fire Emblem maps, like I was saying, there are some that are literally made to help you farm. They're either to farm experience, farm gold, farm items. That's what they're there for. And you could pay for them, but they don't really change how the game plays.
And this is, like you said, it's always been around. Every game has it. Let's
Look
go
at
to a
League.
big game right now. Even in League, they have microtransactions where you can buy your champions that are the best champions in the game right now.
But it makes no. But it doesn't change anything because I can play the game. I can get up enough IP points, and I can still get the character.
But you guys don't see it as a kind of a way of cheating.
No.
Instead of working your way up and running your way up.
The ones that I see that are cheating with that are the Flash games that are usually on servers that you have to do, like Facebook games, that sort of thing. Those are pay-to-win games. you pay the money to get the good stuff, or you could get pretty good. And I've seen people that are usually like the top 5-10 people that never paid for the game themselves. Those people are really good and they know how to use the system.
And like going off of that, like you don't see that in like the major big mainstream quote mainstream games. It's just you see there's the people that actually work for their things that have always been around, and there's the people that want
casual.
They want.
They're trying to appeal to the casual and to the hardcore gamer, but they're at the same time they're trying to make it to where they're balanced and there's not such a big gap between them. And that's like one of the things that have always bothered me about Call of Duty. It's like, oh, you start off with one weapon at level 1, and then as you get to higher level, you get all these weapons that are overpowered. It actually makes more sense to go the opposite way, to have everyone start off with all the weapons, and then as you get better, to make it harder and to give you a bigger handicap, to start taking away the weapons from you.
But see, that's like really counterproductive because they want to reward you for
I know,
everything
they
else.
do.
And see, this is a really cool thing. You're saying, oh, there's the pay-to-win system. Well, going on to Call of Duty, there, like you said, there's the hardcore gamers that want to work for stuff, and there's the casual gamers. Casual gamers won't prestige in Call of Duty. They'll just sit there at level 50. Oh, I have all the guns. I have everything I want. Yay! And there's the people that will prestige that will be like, okay, I want to work for everything. I want to work for these better things I can get.
See, like even with that, like with Extinction, that's the only thing I play anymore on any Call of Duty, and it's only casually. I'm over at a friend's house. It's like, you want to play Diablo 3 or do you want to play Extinction? It's like, he gets mad whenever I play Diablo 3 because I'm actually really good at RPGs, so we'll go play Extinction. And it's like,
alright. Now, we've gone way off topic here with the DLC. I blame you for this.
why? Because you're always there.
You're always there. We're always gonna blame you when something goes wrong.
Okay, I'll cry.
Besides, you're not even here right now. You're in your happy place after we started talking about Ninja Turtles.
Actual size, actual shape.
So, oh my God, he's got the 1,000 yard stare, people.
So
you can't see it, I can.
Did we convince you onto my point? That's actually a really good point. Versus your point.
Versus the paying
You
for the
think,
DLC.
you think it's cheating for microtransaction, and how DLC is kind of dumb because we're not getting the finished product.
Oh,
I still kind of believe that, but I do understand your argument.
I hate games where it feels like the DLC is them trying to finish the game, but at the same time, if it doesn't impact how the actual main game plays, it's not that big of a deal.
Like here, I'll bring up an example. Deus Ex Human Revolution. They came out with the DLC almost like I think a year later, where they gave you a lost episode. It was in between like a couple of the missions where you could play through it. Now they were like, we were working on this because we couldn't really find the time to actually put it into the game. I was like, okay, that's understandable. Then you have games like Azura's Wrath, which I have a ton of fun with, because it's a beat 'em up shooter, quick time event. Where
You're one of dumb people.
I like this game only because I like the story, I like the art style and everything. But later on, they came up with the DLC, and the DLC said that learn the final true ending. The final true ending to this was the DLC.
Yeah, we used to have something like that. It was called beating the game on very hard.
Yes.
See, but like you're saying that, and I just had it, and now I kind of lost my mind.
We'll move on until you don't think of it and
No, I'm not trying to ramble into it.
Remix, Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts Remix, finally got it after like 12 years and horrible. I hate when they do that sort of stuff. I love that they're actually going away from it, but at the same time, you can't say anything about that because that's technically what we get every time we get a Monster Hunter game.
Okay, got it. Remember. Okay, so you're saying like how the lost episode, like they couldn't fit into the game, and Zero Trap is like, oh, here's the final ending and stuff. Okay, so there's stuff that can't be fit into the game. Like, let's go.
Time constraints, budget constraints.
No. Sometimes it's just they don't like it. Let's go all the way back to the N64. Let's go to Zelda Ocarina of Time again, and let's go into the first cartridge that was sold, the gold cartridge, which I think was Series 1. Okay, so Series 1, in Series 1, there were so many unfinished products, there's so many areas...
That was Majora's Mask that was gold, by the way, for Series 1.
No, wasn't there
The
yellow...
limited edition for Majora's Mask was gold.
I'm pretty sure it was
Orchestra was always...
I'm pretty sure there was a gold one. I'm pretty sure I have one. But
I do know from the Dwarf.
yeah. But still, if you look around and you do some glitches, you're gonna find areas where they had
His
planned.
original coding in it, but
Yeah.
they never got rid of it.
They had it there and it was always there, and you could go into it and see.
They'll always do that. They'll be like
There always
testing
will be
areas
some,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Leftovers.
Like in Skyrim, if you enter a certain code in the menu for a PC, it'll take you to a testing area where it has all the weapons, all the armors, all the things. The only problem is you can't save in there, and you can't take any of the weapons out.
See, and yeah, so it's always like, there's always stuff like that in the games that maybe they'll replace later down the road. Sometimes they won't even. They'll just be like, here's a tease for you, have fun.
Or like they were just like, this is kind of how we want it to end. And then last minute we decided to go a different direction. Kind of like how Lucas decided last second, it can't be revenge because Jedis don't take revenge. It's gotta be return.
Oh, and another thing, going off of that, they could have been like, oh, we like how the game is, let's release it. This is really good. We like how the ending is. And a couple months down the road, they're really looking at their thing, getting all the feedback from all the players, and they realize, you know what? Maybe it is missing something. Maybe we do need to throw that in.
I'm pretty sure right now you're talking about Battlefield Hardline, which apparently has been pushed to early next year release.
No. Mass Effect 3, they actually changed the ending for it. And they did a new DLC. They did a free DLC download of a new ending.
Because they did not like. Which
is sad because I actually liked it. I didn't think it was that bad.
It was okay. I can't say the new ending was better, but it was.
I never even really went back and did the new ending because I felt enough closure with the old ending that I didn't really matter.
But some people didn't, and that's why they had to. Even probably some of the producers was like, I don't know, let's see what we can do.
Well, I do have good news. Well, okay.
I don't think that's.
Let's get back on the topic real quick before I go on to this good news. Are core gamers afraid of change?
I don't think so. I don't know, say no.
No, because as a core gamer, you should always be trying to expand your playing type, style, likes, whatnot. Like I started off, I hated RPGs. I hated anything like that. I started off when I first started playing games, it was just platformers. I had the first Dragon Quest game, for the NES and whatnot, and they were very hard because they were Nintendo hard.
Yeah.
And shooters weren't that big, because it was the NES NES, Super NES days.
The days of Doom.
Yeah, so they were hard to find too, and few and far between, except for Shazam. I remember loving that game.
So we got two who say no, gamers are not afraid of change.
No.
EgoBoost?
I don't think that they're afraid.
You don't think core gamers are going to be afraid of change?
No.
Okay, good.
I
Because that's what the EA COO is saying.
I think
That is what
what
EA
EA
is saying.
You're going off of EA, and EA has made
Terrible
all
decisions.
the mistakes this year and last year.
And the year before.
The
and
only
year before,
thing
and the year
that I
before.
hope that they do not botch up, and it will make me cry, is Dragon Age 3. Because I will cry. I will
Okay,
don't
now,
understand
what
how
about,
bad.
are we
I
in
will.
the golden age of video games? I know we kind of glossed over this before the talk of DLC came in at microtransaction.
That was big.
Are we in the golden age right now? I don't feel like we are. I feel like we kind of passed that. We're kind of in the silver age now.
I think what the problem is a lot of us is that we pulled the George Lucas. In all honesty, we've gotten to this point where we see what we could do with our new technology and whatnot, and we've become so engrossed with that we've forgotten the storytelling abilities and what the real cores of any video game need to be. When a lot of it wasn't how cool can it look, it was more or less of how do I tell this story, and how does the music help tell this story, and how does this decision help make the story, and how does it was a lot. To me, it seems like it was a lot bigger process than it is today with how cool can I make it look and then it sell.
You know.
EgoBoost, what do you think? Are we in the golden age, or are we seeing a door on the way out to a new age?
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I think that we've only gotten better with everything. Our technology is way better. Everything else just looks way better.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're in a golden age.
Okay.
That just means that
a
the
lot of these
graphics have gotten
games
better,
where
and that-
you want a storyline, those games are mostly for
The
multiplayer
hardcore.
now.
Oh yeah, that's
Like Halo and COD, nobody cares about the storyline. It's not
I didn't
video
even
anymore.
play through the storyline. Black Ops 2.
You just play the game so you can be competitive and you can play against other people. That's how I see that.
And then you have games like Mass Effect and all that other stuff.
That are just around the story,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
There's no both anymore. You have to choose. You have to choose.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Because
I do.
there was a very good time where you used to do that, and there used to be co-op stuff like that. I get happy when I see stuff like, Torchlight 2 and Dark Souls and stuff like that, where they're story driven, but they're also cooperative. I do love those kind of games.
Alright, so
I do hate those kind of people. That you play with
EgoBoost, do you
because they
think
just
we're in a
stick to
golden
your
age right now? This is the top. There's nowhere else to go but more higher. Until
Yeah.
eventually we all fall, crash and burn.
It has to get better and better and better. I mean, it's not just going to get worse. Sure, DLC might increase and stuff, but that's good. I think I dig it. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, I guess I don't agree with him, but he's American. He has that right. He probably has more right than anybody else. Damn, they did.
See, but like you talk about DLC being a bad thing necessarily.
Well,
I mean, like sometimes it's an actually really cool thing. Cause like,
if they cut
I
down
thought,
several
like-
months and they weren't just working on it
Oh,
while
yeah.
they were working on the actual game.
Well, like not even like that. Like you get games like Guitar Hero, Project Diva, or stuff like that, and then you have the DLC that are different song tracks and whatnot. Sometimes those actually really help the game out and stuff like that. Sometimes they just kind of make you mad when you get like.
I'm just worried that in the future the DLC isn't going to be, stuff that they worked on after the game. It's going to be stuff that they worked on during the game, but they cut into pieces. That's my biggest worry.
I don't think they're gonna get away with that though, because if you did something like that, first off, you would hear an outrage of it on the social medias.
Well, we've already had outrage going on with most of what they've done before. It's never stopped them.
And-
I think the only thing that helped change was the Mass Effect thing.
Actually, in Forza, where they had the microtransaction where you had to pay almost the price of the game just to get a car, because it's like one of the first Xbox One microtransaction games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like outrage over that, and we had to rehaul that whole system twice, actually.
Alrighty then. Well, I think we pretty much exhausted everything that we could talk about tonight. By the way, folks, if you have anything you like...
Wait. Yeah, one. Cinema. Or cinema.
Oh no,
Oh,
let's
of
not go
course.
over that. Let's not go over that.
No, we can go over that real
No.
quick, because you know what? It made me kind of sad.
No.
It made me kind of
Okay,
sad.
I didn't even get my opinion on the Golden Age.
Oh,
Golden Age.
Golden Age. Your opinion. Now, are we in it?
No.
Okay, there. Let's
passed
What do you think? Pass it?
We passed it a long time ago.
Well,
I feel like
to you, what was the Golden Age?
I feel like when Reach Black Ops was out, that was the top. There was no better. Everyone was on those games, 24/7, pretty much. We were all there. Like if you weren't, you were kind of lame and no one liked you and
When
you were
did
the
Black
outcast.
Ops come out?
It came
Around the same time as Reach.
Reach and
Oh,
Battlefield.
well, then I was on Reach.
Battlefield Back Company too. So
Like everyone, if you weren't on Call of Duty, you were on Reach. If you were on Reach, you were on Battlefield Back Company 2. Or Battlefield 2.
This
'cause
came
that was
out
on
about
Reach.
then.
Those were pretty much
No,
top
no,
two games.
Dragon Age 2 came out about that time.
ladies
Not
and
a lot of
gentlemen,
people
if
swapped
you
over
would
that.
like
Yeah, I
to
know.
send us any questions or have us discuss any other topics that you think we might be able to enjoy and discuss, don't be afraid to go ahead and email us at erjproductions@hotmail.com. Our email will be in the description below, or go ahead and comment or like us on Facebook, and we'll hopefully see you again next time. I'd like to thank EgoBoost for joining me,
Of course.
even though he was, after the Ninja Turtle incident, he got the 1,000-yard stare, which was his happy place.
Oh my god.
Master Chef, I'd like to thank you as well for joining us.
Problem?
I'd also like to thank Josh the Dwarf, who came, he left, came back, and then he left again. I'd also like to thank Daniel-san for jumping in all of a sudden. I swear to God, I gotta put something on that door to say, keep out, busy.
Yeah.
And we like to thank Wabi-kun, who has already taken off to go to the bathroom to get rid of all the shit that we've talked about today. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you. Have a good night.
Supposed to do that.
Fuck professionalism.